Hi, welcome to Crisco's Corner. Proud to live in the greatest country in the world. Unfiltered opinions, no PC discussion here. Agree, disagree, hate it, love it, it's all good. Sit back and enjoy some unfiltered commentary. We discuss politics, culture, interviews, and more. Your comments are always welcome. Please help the channel by hitting that subscribe button. Doesn't cost a thing. And as always, thanks for your support. Hi, folks. Welcome back to Crisco's Corner. Well, 17 states. Originally, it was Texas that filed the Supreme Court due to the oddities, irregularities, and some of the actual laws they broke in their own states. And under the electors clause in the Constitution and other things, it's complicated. I'm not a lawyer, but I do know this. As of right now, there are 17 states involved. Now, my understanding, Arizona also joined as well. They filed a separate brief here. It's complicated. It's legal stuff, and it's complicated. Rush Limbaugh says conservative states are trending towards secession from U.S. Conservative radio host Limbaugh had suggested that some American states could soon break away from the United States and declare independence. To tell you the truth, on a side note, it's just me talking. I'm just a guy with a little channel, former local elected official in upstate New York that owns a small business. Nobody special. Back in the 1800s, when they were trying to delay the Civil War, they kept making compromises and adding states. They want to add a state. I have a suggestion for them. If anybody important is listening to this, I have a suggestion. You want to make Puerto Rico, D.C.? I don't think legally you can make D.C. a state. Do you want to make Puerto Rico a state? Okay. Here's the trade, just like they used to do in the 1800s. Here's the trade. That's how the state of Maine was created. You can go back and look at all the states that were trades made. Let's make this trade. You want to make Puerto Rico a state? Fine. Make upstate New York a separate state. I would stay here for the remainder of my life, and I'm 64. I probably won't stay here if it continues like it does in New York, and with the bleak economic times that are coming. It was tough enough without COVID. That's just put the thumb on the scale, and they're busted, absolutely busted. You want to make a trade? I'll make a trade. Upstate New York, separate from New York proper, maybe a couple of counties right above New York. I'm not sure where you put the line. We'll trade. We'll give you Puerto Rico, and we get upstate New York. Call it Upper New York for lack of a better term. Just like Virginia and West Virginia, those of you who don't know, West Virginia was formed during the Civil War. And they snuck it in, of course, because the Confederate, or the states that were in the Confederacy, had no sitting members in Congress, in the House or the Senate. So they put West Virginia as a separate state. I'm not sure what year it passed, 63, 64, I'm not really sure. But it's been done before. So that's my suggestion on secession. Let's upstate New York secede from New York City. Anyway, I digress. Let's move on. Speaking on this program, the Rush Limbaugh Show on Wednesday, Limbaugh claimed that there cannot be a peaceful coexistence between liberal and conservative America, which he said are increasingly different cultures. Yeah, some states are trending towards secession as a result, he said, adding that there was sizable and growing sentiment for declaring independence from the U.S., and those which have a majority of conservative right-wing voters. My suggestion is, I think the conservative right-wing voters, the ones that follow the Constitution, the ones that obey the laws, run their businesses, work their jobs, raise their families, don't bother anybody, play by the rules, constitutionalists, stay in the United States. It's the progressives and leftists in these major cities that are causing the problem. Let them leave. I'd still love to have the flag we have now. Just have less stars on it. I could care less. Let them go. Let them go. I know that sounds terrible to say, but I'm at that point now where these people are relentless. They won't stop until they destroy the country. So let them form their own country. Let it go to crap. And then when it does, we'll just reunify the country after that. But that's just me. The talk show presenter made the remarks in response to a question from his show's official program observer about whether Republicans could ever win major national elections without taking back blue cities. Yeah, they might be able to if they stop putting in tens of thousands of unsolicited ballots. And that's the thing on YouTube now. You mentioned the F word. There's a new F word now. F-R-A-U-D. That's the new F word on YouTube, so I can't use it. Limbaugh said that the party already won many elections without doing so in the past before discussing whether conservatives would dominate the culture. I actually think they were trending towards secession, he said. I see more and more people asking what in the world do we have in common with the people who live, say, in New York. And that's true. And I'm even in the same state as New York City. We have absolutely nothing in common. We're getting a lot of New York City people up here, and most of them, it's terrible that I have to say this, but most of them are good, decent people. But even the good, decent people are bringing their ultra-liberal ways with them, and it's causing a lot of problems. It really is. It really and truly is, because this is way different than New York City. And they just believe certain things. I call them flat earthers. Doesn't make them bad people. Doesn't make them uneducated people or dumb people or any of those things. They just believe the world is flat. No matter what you say to them, they just won't listen. What is there that makes us believe that there is enough of us even to have a chance at winning New York, especially if you're talking about votes? He went on to suggest that liberal and conservative political cultures have become much more separated and that things can't go on this way. I agree. Although noting he was undecided on whether entire states should break away. Those of you that are wondering, when I say civil war, I'm not talking about standing armies. I'm talking about a political and economic civil war. There cannot be a peaceful coexistence of two completely different theories of life, theories of government, theories of how we manage our affairs, he added. We can't be in as dire a conflict without something giving somewhere along the way. Yeah. Absolutely total opposites. When it comes to theories of government, theories about how you lead your life, theories about how you manage your affairs. And the progressives and the leftists want to put your nose in all of your business. No. Leave us alone to live our lives, work our jobs, run our businesses, raise our families, be with our friends, do the things we want to do, and leave us the hell alone. Don't reach so deep in our pockets. Responding to John Dean, Limbaugh's comments, John Dean, who served as the White House counsel for Richard Nixon, questioned how red Republican states would progress economically if they left the Union. Well, all the economic growth, I shouldn't say all, 95% of the economic growth in the last decade has all been in red states. He wrote, if the red states seceded, they would be a third world nation, and it is the blue states that keep the red states financially afloat. Yeah, we would cut back on all, if we formed our own country, all the red states, we would cut way, way, way back. And all the wasteful government spending, we would lower taxes dramatically. I know they would. Just like what happened last year before COVID, the country was taking off because of the policies. Yeah, we would be fine. We would be fine. Thank you very much. Blue states pay more in taxes than they receive in federal benefits. Technically, that's true. But the red states wouldn't be stuck with the one-party blue states constant pounding about just one program after another, and regulation after regulation after regulation that stymies growth. I was down in Tennessee last November, and I'll tell you, 6, 8-lane highways just jam with semi-tractor trailers. That means commerce. That means money. They're booming down there. They're making population gains. The Northeast is losing. California is losing. And it's good if the people are going where the economic opportunities are, which is supposedly in these really crappy red states. Well, Mr. Dean, I don't agree. But here's the problem, though. People that are leaving these states to go to red states are bringing their liberal ways with them. And they're voting for Democrats thinking, well, if I move from California to, say, Tennessee or North Carolina or Florida, I'm going to vote for a Dem. But the Dems are different here. No, they're not. Not anymore. Not anymore. They're not. And that's causing a problem. If you want to move to a southern, less regulated, red state, less tax state, don't bring the same luggage that you had when you were in California or in New York. TV producer Jay Slabata responded by, quote, tweeting Limbaugh's remarks and writing, I mean, I know one person trending towards secession. The radio's host comments came a day after Texas Republican Kyle Bitterman, a Republican, announced his plans to introduce the Texas Independence Referendum Act, which he said would allow the state to reassert its status as an independent nation. The federal government is out of control and doesn't respect the value of Texans. This is why I'm committing to file legislation that will allow a referendum to give Texas a vote for the state of Texas to reassert its status as an independent nation. Well, those who don't know, they were an independent nation for a short time. Originally, Mexico was a Spanish possession. Mexico revolted, got their independence. Texas was part of Mexico. They revolted, they got their independence. And then shortly thereafter, it was 2, 3, 4 years, I don't remember the time frame, they joined the United States. Yeah, it's right. They're so diametrically opposed. It's crazy that their ideas concerning government and taxes and rules and regulations, it's out of control. And it's getting farther and farther apart. I don't think it's the right or center right that's gone too far. I think the center leftists have gone way so far left. They're pulling away, not conservative people. Conservative people pretty much think the same as they have when it comes to government and taxes for a long time. The progressives and the leftists have gone so far left. They're the ones that are pulling things apart. They're the ones that the differences now are so great that they're going to break. And last month's U.S. presidential election, Republican incumbent Donald Trump's vote share in Texas fell by about 1% from 2016 to 52.1, according to the Associated Press, with 46.5% of voters in the state backing Democrat Joe Biden. On Tuesday, Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton, stand-up guy, by the way, filed a lawsuit with the Supreme Court against 4 states, Pennsylvania, Georgia, Michigan, and Wisconsin, which voted for Biden in a bid to prevent their electors casting their ballots, stopping the Democrat taking the 270 ballots needed to enter the White House. That's a lie. They put in 90% of it true, and then they had that little tag on the end. That's not what the suit is about. The suit is about the improprieties that were done and the illegalities that were done to their own constitutions, Pennsylvania especially, and the electors clause of the Constitution and other things in the Constitution that they broke. All they want is say, listen, there was so much fast and loose things with the rules. They're changing at the last minute, which was illegal under both the state and federal Constitution. Let's just send the people that choose the electors, in this case, the state legislators. Let them pick the electors. And if they pick Joe Biden, then that's what they do. If they pick Donald Trump, then that's what they do. If they go half and half, then that's what they do. And that's what the suit is really about. Letting the legislatures, and by the way, it's been done before. It's clearly stated. I believe it was an 1892 decision. Those of you are saying, well, John, that was so long ago. It doesn't apply now. Well, how about this then? How about this? How about some murder laws? I live in upstate New York. So the state of New York has laws against murdering people. And they're really, really, really old. So we don't have to use them anymore? Well, of course you do. Of course you do. That's just absolutely asinine argument. And it says that state legislatures can pick the electors at any time. End of sentence. It's about as clear as you can make it. Limbaugh had his feelings about the 2020 election clear last month when he said there was no way Joe Biden was legitimately elected president. All 50 states and District of Columbia have officially certified their election results, paving the way for Electoral College to cast their ballots on December 14th. Biden is projected to win 306 electors to Trump's 232. On a little side note here, you see related articles. I'm not going to go into it, but this here is where the left and the Democrats are headed. Barack Obama says issues, policies, facts don't matter to Americans anymore. Jesus, are you kidding? And you know what the sick part is? He might be right. Issues, policies, and facts don't matter anymore. Do you think that's going to lead somewhere good? Do you really? I want to read that again. Barack Obama says issues, policies, and facts don't matter to American voters anymore. This is probably one of the few times that I actually agree with President Obama. And I call him president out of respect for the office, not the man. 99% of what he believed I didn't believe in. But what I do know about him, and it's just what I get from the media, is I know he's an incredibly good speaker. He's a very intelligent man, and he seems like a damn good father. Okay, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. But he may be right. And why? Here's the bigger question. Why don't issues, policies, and facts matter anymore to the American voters? I think someone to get their PhD thesis, trying to figure that one out. But there it is, folks. There it is. And we can go on and on and on. There is the Supreme Court. That's what it looks like, the state of Texas, when they filed. I'll go through this. There's quite a bit to it. It's just a motion to file bill of complaint. And there it is there. You can stop the video and read it if you want to. We'll just scroll along here. And it's quite long. I suggest you go to, I'm not going to go through the whole 92 pages of it. So I believe it's supremecourt.gov. And I think if you put in Texas complaint, you'll get it's quite long. It's amazingly long. I believe it's 92 pages on the website here. And we're on page 9 now. There's some really good things in here. Like, look at the bottom of the paragraph on the top. Statutory revisions through executive fiat or friendly lawsuits, thereby weakening ballot integrity. Finally, same government officials flooded the defendant states with millions of ballots to be sent through the mails or dropped in mailboxes with little or no chain of custody. And at the same time, weaken the strongest security measures protecting the integrity of the vote, signature verification, and witness requirements. And it goes on. Any of you legal geeks out there want to take a look at it? Go to, I think it's supremecourt.gov, and you can put in Texas filing. So we have to ask ourselves again, is civil war coming? I don't know. But if it does, it will not be the Civil War of the 1860s with standing armies. That's for certain. I don't know what's going to happen. But if recent history is any gauge, these progressive leftists have completely lost their minds. Every time they're backed into a corner, they always double down. And then when they're proved wrong or lose, they double down again. They're screwed. It's simple as that. Look at the facts. Not one Republican incumbent in the House of Representatives has lost their seat. The U.S. Senate, 2/3 of the senators up for re-election last month. Republicans held on to the majority. 2 years from now, it's going to be the opposite. 2/3 of Democrats are going to be defending their seats. And we all know what the midterms do in the first term of a presidency. They always flip, but there's going to be a bloodbath. If there is a President Biden, he's going to be a lame duck president the day he's sworn in. And God knows what's coming up, as we've seen in the news lately with some of the scandals and things that go on concerning the Biden family and other topics related to international affairs, China and such. Who the hell knows? Maybe he won't even last a term. Maybe he'll resign. He'll be the second president to resign. Who knows? Nobody knows for sure. Civil war, I think in part, I don't think it's going to be a standing army civil war. I think it'll be a political and economic civil war. We have two very opposing ideas. One is slowly walking, slow stepping to basically the best case scenario is very much like European countries where the tax rate's 60, 70, 80% with a whole slew of social programs, even though they're technically a capitalist country. Their tax burden is so burdensome, it's ridiculous. That's one scenario if the Democrats win. The other scenario is slow walking towards a socialist country. And I believe it's been tried 42 times in the world with disasters. So you're saying, well, if we go to the European model with the high taxes and a lot of social programs, free college, John, that's not the end of the world. You know what? I don't want to be, and neither do tens of millions of Americans want to be another European-style country. We are unique. We are different. And that is the secret to our success. The U.S. Constitution is the best government document ever written in the history of the world. And to dilute that and say that it's outdated is nonsense. Absolute nonsense. And that's what this suit about as well, is upholding the Constitution. I think the good guys always win? No. But I think the conservative people are finally standing up and saying this is enough. Is it too late? I wish I knew that answer. I would have a lot more money than I have now. But I know this for certain. The same rule applies when the Constitution was ratified in the late 1700s as it does now. It's not outdated. It's not ancient history or a piece of parchment on a display in a museum. And it's not a living document. It's in existence for one reason and one reason only. And to put it a very, very we'll call it a professor type way, the reason why is because people suck. Me included. I like to think about in the end that sucks less. And that Constitution is to protect us from each other. Because, as we've seen from November's election, giving a free hand always leads to disaster. No matter what side of the aisle it's on, the left or the right. The Constitution reins that in. Because people will suck, and they will always suck. And they'll always do the wrong thing given the right opportunity. And until next time, folks, goodbye and good luck.